All right, I'm back again. This is take two because I screwed something up. I may tell you about it later. I should really start a bloopers reel. I usually get so ticked at myself. I'm so mad. I just delete the video, but I really I could I could be more famous for doing bloopers than, not that I'm famous or anything, but more popular by just doing blooper reels, stupid stuff that I've done. All right, so what I've done here, I'm going to start all over. Here's the appendage identifying that this is a male crab, right? If it was a female, it'd be more like a pyramid, triangular type shape. So this is a male crab. So what I said earlier, before I screwed up the previous video, was you break off the legs like this, right? I've already done one here. You're probably gonna see extra extremities here, but take the point of this leg and just put it right underneath that. I call it an appendage, whatever, and boom. So you pulled that down, right? You see how that pulled down? It's like a hinge. It's gonna break off very easily. So I'm gonna put that in my waist bin, and then right here is basically the buttocks. So you're gonna put your thumb under here. Let me try and change the angle for you guys to see. So you're gonna put your thumb under here. Unlike the previous video where I did using it for bait, it's gonna come apart real easy. You put your thumb under here and you're just gonna lift up. You see how that just popped right off? It's a beautiful thing. That to me that's heaven on earth. I love when I hear and see that. You know, it's so good. But so what I was saying earlier before I screwed up the video was, these are called, right here on these outer, these are called like the devil's lungs. That is pretty much like the filtration system for the crabs. It catches any, I would call it like impurities or anything like that. So we're going to remove those. Folklore and wise tale will tell you that it's not good, it's not healthy for you. I've eaten them in the past growing up. Nothing ever happened to me, but if you're worried about that, I'm here to tell you what people say and what I say. So just go with it, roll with it. So anyway, so as I showed you earlier, there's, let me turn this around. I jumped the gun a little bit. There's this little crease in here. So I just snap the crab forward with both my thumbs. And now what the product we have is just so beautiful. Just so beautiful. Matter of fact, I'm going to pause the video. I need to improve something. I'll be right back. Working on something. Be patient. Chill out, folks. I'm happy to be back. I forgot one key ingredient to part of this recipe for food consumption was, I got about, I don't know, I forget how much it was, quarter stick, half stick of butter. Put it in the microwave for a minute. We have melted butter. That's going to kick your game up a lot. So you're going to love this. So here we are. Now this is a really good example of what you're going to get. So right here, pretty much all of that, most of that is the brain matter and whatnot. Some people don't eat it. I don't waste any parts of a crab, especially if I paid $27.50 for 6 crabs. They're big, heavy, plentiful, but you dip it right in there and you'll be able to, like with your teeth and whatever, if there's anything that's not pleasant in there, you can kind of pull out anything. It's beautiful. So right there, that was pretty much all the brain matter and mustard. The mustard would be considered waste by most people. There's another little chunk. I love it. It's way better than Grey Poupon. And it's just, when you see stuff like this, how this is, that's kind of like some of the stuff that some people are intimidated to eat. Not me. I'm like, bring it on, dude. Let's throw down on this stuff. This crab died for us. We're getting after it. So these little tails, you can, like, I didn't really show this too well in the previous video for bait. You can knuckle these up with the shears. Great bait for stuff like that. So here's the legs. And as I was trying to say in the previous video before I screwed that one up, I eat a lot of these. Most people don't waste their time with those. I love me some crabs. It's not going to, when you grow up poor and you're on welfare, you learn to eat, you learn how to survive. So right now, this is what you have right here. This is so much full meat in there. I can see it. I can almost taste it. So what you can do is you can break it. I also have another tool I don't always use, but I happen to have it here. This is like a nutcracker. So I'm going to show you right here. If you remember this nutcracker, it made me famous when I cracked some eggs. So watch this. Sorry, that old Bays. Woo! I might have to hit pause here for a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, let me get a chaser here. Sometimes that old Bay can hit your throat a little bit, but it's a good kind of pain. So what we have right here, I'm going to demonstrate something for you. When I told you about all the tools you need are within a crab, here's obviously the pincher that can really hurt you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it away. See how that, a lot of times you get a big chunk of meat come with that, right? That's good. Enjoy it. You're going to love it. You're going to embrace this. Now that is your built-in pick. When you go into these little cavities that you break open here, I'm just going to start picking at it, right? And watch this. Hopefully I can demonstrate this. Look at that big chunk. That's what you call a lump crab meat right there. Boom. Oh, it's got some mustard on it. It tastes so darn fabulous. So, this is how you eat a blue crab. I'm not going to bore you with the entire process, but I'm going to show you quickly a little bit about how to eat the claws, and that's always fun too. I love me some blue crabs. Oh my gosh. This is like heaven on earth. You know, if I died in 25 minutes, it's okay. I had my last supper and I was happy. All right. So here's the blue crab. I've already picked off that one pincher. I'm going to break it here at this joint. This would be like the elbow. So I'm going to break it off, right? I've done that. I'm going to do the same thing here. A lot of people do not appreciate the claw meat as much as I do. I truly believe the claw meat is, if done correctly, there's a lot of restaurants that only sell the claw meat in like a scampi garlic butter and stuff like that with bread and stuff. It's really good. There's a local restaurant chain here in Lee County called Pinchers, and they do that. I love it. I've always loved it. I used to go to markets in Baltimore and just buy only the crab claws. So I don't have a regular size mallet. I got the Big Hammer Lawyer mallet right here. So here we're going to go. We're going to crack this, right? So, bam. One more hammer, hit. All right, so that's good. I already know that one's I can access that one. I'm going to do them all at the same time. Boom. All right, so we got that. Now this is the harder, thicker part of the claw. If you do this correctly and you pull out, I'm going to show you right now. This one probably turned out pretty darn well. There's nothing inside that cavity, so that That's a really good start. That's a really good start. So now I'm just going to give this an extra little tap, pull away. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to pull away that extra little bit of crab shell, and this is all meat. That's all meat. So what we're going to do is, it's kind of falling apart because normally I would have been all over it, but since I'm trying to demonstrate. So this is the meat that was in that pointy claw. So here I've got the butter right here. I'm dipping it in there, the melted butter, should I say. Here is beautiful claw meat. I love it. Melted butter. Trust me, my friends, you don't need anything else. This is the bomb. This is Nature's Bounty. I forget what channel mentioned that one day, and I loved when they used the term Nature's Bounty. So with that being said, let me chase it. Oh, I love me some blue crabs. You know, I've always heard, and I'm going to tell you from both sides of the spectrum, that the Chesapeake Bay in Maryland has the best blue crabs in the world. I will tell you, from having crab there, eating crabs from that region, they're very, very good. Very, very good. I can honestly tell you, from living in Florida for 18 years or so, look, I'm going to show you this real quick. I'm going to get back to my story. This is, I'm going to try and pull this off so you can see. I just broke off the back side of that. I'm going to break off this little side shell, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen when I pull this pincher off. Right here. I'm pulling it upward to remove it. And apparently that's not working. I'm about to cut my fingers. Woo, doggy. But G Money never gives up. If I got to sacrifice a finger for a video, I'm going to do it. So there's just a little bit of meat on there. I'm dipping it in the butter. But now, guess what? The rest of that is all solid meat. Right in the center, there's like a thin, I guess you would call it a vertical layer of cartilage. So I'm going to try and demonstrate that right now. Look, this big chunk of meat is literally falling out of the pincher. Watch this. Oh yeah. Matter of fact, there was no cartilage. Excuse me, I'm spitting all over the place. Ooh, doggy. G Money loves him some crabs. So that's kind of like the basic gist. Let me get into this part of the crab. All right, so now I've mashed this part of the blue crab, and like I said, you have your built-in tools, which would be the pick, the pincher from the crab. So I'm going to show you how you utilize the parts of the crab, and bam, set it on your tongue and forget it. It's all good, bro. It's all good. But if you do have excuse me, I had to get a little, if you do have a little tiny, this is actually called a snail fork, an escargot fork. If you have something like that, you can poke the meat, dip it into the butter, you're good to go. So that's how G Money eats blue crabs. I want you to enjoy this meal as much as I do love enjoying it. My mom's going to love it. So I'm trying to make good use of time on this Independence Day 2023. I appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, man. I love you guys, man. I love YouTube. I love crabs. Love my mom. Let's all coexist, you know. Peace out, folks. Remember, always know your legal limits and learn the crabbing laws in Florida, because some stuff's coming up soon.